All ended well, but it's only 3 points. It's all about
Are you not going to acknowledge after you just said that he got the assist that got us the equalizer?
Who's that? Declan Rice?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to acknowledge that because the fact is that I look at the whole focus of his game. There were other players.
That was one of Declan Rice's best games.
I don't think it was his best game. Declan Rice was meant to be playing at number 8, and he wasn't getting up the field. We needed him more to stretch games. All this thing about Declan Rice, the reason why I say he's the best game is because of the cross and because the recovery. But if you're a number 8, you should be playing at number 8. You shouldn't be playing and playing a number 6. He was a number 8.
I thought he was good. I thought he was good, bro.
Declan Rice had the most touches on the ball in the game.
Yeah,
he got an assist. He got the assist
from stats and watch the game.
No. He got the assist from Miguel Moreno. He got the assist from Miguel Moreno.
Just watch the game of football. All you do is come up with stats. A lot of people. That's what I say about the statisticians.
I'm giving you reasons on why my point is valid.
Statisticians, watch the game instead of going down to the computer and get
I'm sorry, we watched the game differently. We watched the game differently because you care more about the position. I care more about his productivity, and I thought he was very productive in the game.
His productivity until he set up the goal wasn't the greatest.
No, he was our safety blanket. He was the person who was keeping the game ticking. We needed
Declan Rice to play as number 8 and to actually get into more forward positions. We already had Zubimendi there. That's my criticism.
We played a different formation. Do you not realize that?
What do you mean different formation?
We played a different formation. Eze was
when we had bodies for when we needed bodies forward. Declan should have been done it a bit more. He was playing too.
Why would Declan? 1 second.
Because he's a number 8, mate. He's not a number 6.
He was not playing as number 8.
He's not a number 6 gal.
We weren't playing with.
We weren't playing. Watch the game. Forget about your stats.
We weren't though. The game we had both Declan Rice and Zubimendi sitting back, and the game was.
We didn't even need them both sitting back.
No, but the reason why that was because the midfield had a double pivot, and you had Eze in front. And Eze was given the freedom to attack, and which gave us we gave ourselves more solidity by keeping both Zubimendi and Rice a little bit deeper.
The fact is that when we were on the ball and when we were in attack, that's when I was saying to Declan, "Come on, mate, get another boy forward, especially when we're a goal behind."
So you want the player to go out of position?
He's not out of position. He's playing the number 8.
He is not playing the number 8.
He was playing at the number 8.
In that game, we had no number 8. It was two defensive midfielders.
You know what he was playing?
Nonsense. The guy was.
It's not nonsense.
The guy was not.
It's not nonsense. You don't know.
It's not personal against
Declan. You clearly view the game differently.
It's Declan Rice, Maradona or something.
Differently. I respect your opinion.
You know what he was playing though? No, seriously, what he was playing. He was playing both.
Wrong. It was a double pivot. And Declan Rice was not playing in.
What's wrong with saying that?
Rice was not playing in the 8. He was playing in a double pivot behind the 10.
All right, Cal. All right, okay.
He was playing everywhere, mate. Because Zubimendi for me is just I don't know what his role is. I don't know whether he's an 8. I don't know whether he's a 6. I don't know whether he should be doing the Declan Rice role. For me, Zubimendi needs to step it up because Declan Rice is covering every blade of grass and he's covering Zubimendi as well. And that's not sustainable for the minutes he plays.
The only thing that wound me up, I suppose, in this game was the reluctance to take one of them off. I thought Zubimendi could have come off earlier. I thought, it was a right substitute to make. I thought Ødegaard come on. I thought he was excellent, actually, which we'll come on to. I actually agree with your gal on this one, Kenny. I can't even lie. And I never thought I'd say this, bro. But me and you disagree on the position of Rice.
I've got no problem with that. The point of difference is that in that game, especially in parts of the game, I would like Declan to get more up the field. I didn't say to do it every time, but there were certain times.
See, this is the thing. I like Declan.
I feel it's only when we made the substitution that's when he was getting up the field. But I would like to have him done it earlier. That's all.
Okay. Look, I personally liked Declan Rice's performance. Zubimendi, I was a bit with DJB. I didn't think he had the best game. I did like his little dink up to to Timber. I thought that was a good chance, and I thought Timber could have scored, but it was a good save. Pope had a bit of a mad game, didn't he? Jeebus. But yeah, look, I got to be honest. I'm in that position right now where I felt like the midfield, for me, there's a massive talking point. Me and Agal spoke about it earlier about potentially having Rice, Eze, and Odegaard on the pitch together in a trio, and I would like to see that. I would like to see Odegaard in the left 8 and Eze up in the right hand side, or Odegaard right, Eze left, whatever. For me, would be good.
Where does that leave Zubimendi then?
Well, I don't think we need
to be on the bench.
I don't think we need to play Rice and Zubimendi every game. That's what I think.
Yeah, but in Europe, that's what I think Zubimendi. I hoped Zubimendi would play his best football, especially in the games where in, when we play teams like PSG and Bayern Munich. That's why I was excited about having Zubimendi, because I always felt that in the games that we lost in Europe last year and the year before, I always thought that the midfield battle, I always felt that the opposition had an extra man. And that's why I was really excited to see Zubimendi. That's why I was disappointed. I'm with DJB. I was disappointed with his performance at Newcastle. And I was disappointed that with the Bilbao performance, because I thought I expected a bit more. But I think he's going to be a good player for us. I'm going to be patient with him.
No, but Kenny, I'm going to be. I just want to ask one question. What part specifically of Zubimendi's game frustrated you in that game? Because I didn't see.
No, I'm talking. What I'm trying to, in terms of like, with the Zubimendi, right? I'm not expecting to be a Thomas Partey, because they're not the same. They're different players. Forget it. The comparisons are a waste of time. In terms of Zubimendi, what I wanted to do is, just to control the midfield, get the ball, and sort of control the tempo of the game. Don't get me wrong. Newcastle, they like I said, they got a bit of hold of the game after they got the goal, and parts of the second half they got a bit of hold of the game. But in terms of like Zubimendi, the reason why I was excited about getting him in the team, because I thought he's the kind of player that when he gets the ball off the defence, and then he sets the tempo, which means he can try and get us up the field. And I think Nottingham Forest very pleased. There's parts of games where he has done that, but look, it's just Zubimendi's only 5 games in. He's trying to get to the the pace of English football. And I think maybe second half of the season, I think we'll see the best of Zubimendi.
The thing is though, what you expected from Zubimendi, we actually got from Declan Rice in that game, and I feel like you're kind of, because I feel like you've put players into a box. And Declan Rice was doing more of the dictating, more of the getting the ball, passing it, recycling it. And he was the one who's getting all the passes into the final third for us in that game. But because it was Declan Rice doing that, and Zubimendi was kind of doing the Declan Rice role where he was getting closer to the box, trying to find the final pass around the box, there's roles almost reversed at times. But that's what happens when you keep changing the formation. You're going to have people playing different roles.
Let me come in on this. This midfield thing, I think, is an interesting one. Big up to Matty. Hope you're well, bruv. Thanks for jumping on, man. I know you're busy, but what do you make of this midfield balance, Matty? Because we've been talking about it. I thought Rice had a good game. Kenny wasn't so sure about his positioning. Zubimendi, I have been okay with him. I haven't been like, wow, this guy's absolutely outstanding. Thomas Partey, but I think he's been okay. Eze, I really like in the middle, and I've got to be honest, when Odegaard come on, Matty, I thought he was excellent, bruv. Some of the passing was superb. So where are you at with the balance in this midfield? Do you think we can get it right? What do you think our best trio is? Where are you at, bro?
I was actually pleasantly surprised by the midfield on Sunday. I prefer, me personally, if I was to pick a midfield, I would probably pick something more along those lines. I think what we're going to have to understand is that we're going to have Zubimendi's going to have games where it's kind of a learning experience, still a learning experience, and still getting acclimated to the league. And I think that having Eze there going forward is exactly what the doctor ordered. I think that the more if we play like we did the first 20 minutes of that game for most of the season, I think we'll be in decent shape. But the question is the consistency, and will he stick to that? The manager, I'm talking to the manager now. Will he stick to that? Because I think that we were pretty much imposing our will there the first, like I said, first 20, 30 minutes there. and then we just got sucker punched. And so I think that we're going to have to understand that if we are going to go forward, there are going to be times where we're going to probably give up a goal. But having a decent defense allows us to stay in games, whereas normally we were used to we couldn't do that. But now I think that we have an avenue to where we can beat teams if we just go forward. I think that the midfield was balanced. I think it was, everybody, it was evenly balanced, whereas you saw the midfield the week before last, and it was just like, come on now, we know this ain't gonna work. Moreno in midfield, not a midfielder. It's just the midfield was just slower when we played City. Then you look at this midfield, it was able to kind of keep up with Newcastle. And given Newcastle's a pretty physical team, we all know this. So once again, like I said, I think that this weekend he got it right. The manager got it right as far as the midfield. I just, for me, I just don't know how consistent can he be. So we'll see what he puts out there tomorrow, and see if we go back. We go back to the three blind mice, as I call it, and if we go back to that, then it just goes to show he hadn't learned his lesson. But I think that the outside noise was getting to him this week. Everybody was talking about that midfield and attack going forward this past week. So hopefully it starts to stick, and we can have more of what we saw on Sunday and tomorrow night. Because I personally, I think before I came on with when I came on with Lee, he asked me about what I thought about the lineup, and I said Eze in the 10 equals a win. So hopefully we can.
I like the positive.
Love that, man.
I was gonna say, man, we're probably gonna play the Sociedad midfield tomorrow.
Yes,
not against Olympiacos. That won't be an easy matchup, man. A lot of people are gonna look at that on paper and look at that and think that's gonna be easy. You saw Spurs tonight with Bodo Glimt. These games are completely different than what people. These games are evenly matched. Also, Olympiacos, they've scored 13 goals, and I think they've only given up 2 or 3 all year. So
they're unbeaten 7, aren't they, Olympiacos?
Oh, I didn't know they were unbeaten. So there you go. So toss that in there too, JB. So
yeah, I did a chat with an
Olympiacos. We're at home, so hopefully
they are literally like looking.
The last time we lost to them, Miguel, we lost to them at home.
Yeah, but that was the Aubameyang era.
Oh, don't you write Aubameyang then?
Scored tonight, Aubameyang. Scored tonight.
It's right. You're right, Miguel. It's right, Aubameyang.
He fell off a cliff them times. He lost confidence. He had a lot of stuff going on family wise.
Say one for you. You put your nuts on the table here, man, because there's a lot of Aubameyang fans who want to kill you for that.
I don't.
He won us the champion. At
his end days at Arsenal, his head was not at the club. He was gone.
No, I agree with you on that. That's one thing. Me and you do agree with you. I'm going to say even more controversial, seeing that this is the Arsenal roundabout debate. Eddie Boyle and Nelka were levels above Aubameyang.
Oh yeah,
Anelka definitely.
Anelka,
Eddie Boyle was levels above Aubameyang.
Yeah,
levels.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'd take Eddie Boyle or Anelka or Aubameyang at the moment, because I need
Aubameyang and Anelka shouldn't even be in the same.
To show me a little bit.
They shouldn't. Anelka should have been the best. Should have been levels above it Henry in terms of just natural footballing ability.
Anelka is the best like 17, 18-year-old I've seen like for Arsenal. When he came over, I thought, what have we bought here? This is just ridiculous how good he was. But anyway, we digress. Let me throw some
before we go any further. Are you going to speak about Saliba at any point?
I was gonna, yeah, but I mean, we keep jumping all over the place. To be fair, the structure of this is all over the shop. So we were talking about who's going to start tomorrow night, and we haven't got to that yet. I haven't talked about VAR. If you don't want to talk about that, we haven't spoken. We started to talk about Anelka. I don't know what's happening here. I can't structure this, man.
This is what happens when you win a game, Dan.
Yeah, I know. You win a game and you want to talk about everything at once. We haven't even spoken about the Red Arrows and Arteta's, connection with that yet. But let's go there.